Imagine floating through space, dead silent, until something knocks on the outside of your spaceship. No, not your imagination. Astronauts actually hear it. Add to that brain-melting dreams, smell hallucinations, zero sense of time, and oh yeah, your bones literally giving up. This isn't sci-fi. This is what real space does to your mind. And by the end of this video, you'll either want to become an astronaut or never leave Earth again. Let's start with a lie you've been fed your entire life. Space is silent. Wrong. Okay, technically, in the vacuum of space, sound waves can't travel. So yes, it's quiet, in the way a haunted house is quiet. But astronauts? They're not floating in peaceful stillness. They're sealed inside a metal can strapped to a nuclear firework, surrounded by constant whirring, clicking, popping, and, sometimes, phantom knocking. Yep, knocking. Astronauts aboard space stations have reported mysterious tapping or knocking noises coming from outside the spacecraft. Imagine lying in bed and hearing tapping on your window, 250 miles above Earth. That's not comforting. That's horror movie material. Is it space debris? Thermal expansion? Space ghosts? Nobody's 100% sure. But rest assured, there's something deeply unsettling about hearing sounds in the void where sound shouldn't exist. Also, your spacecraft is full of machines that never stop humming. Pumps, fans, valves, and a life support system that, ironically, sounds like it's trying to kill you in your sleep. If something suddenly goes quiet, it's probably because it broke, and that's when you should really panic. So no, space isn't peacefully silent. It's more like an anxious robot trying to whisper horror stories through the walls while you float around pretending everything's fine. Floating in zero gravity sounds fun until your entire body files a complaint. The moment you leave Earth, your body is like, cool, I guess we're just a jellyfish now. Muscles? Useless. Bones? Confused. Your body starts aggressively disassembling itself because it thinks you don't need all that human structure anymore. Astronauts lose up to 20% of their muscle mass and about 1% of their bone density per month, as if their skeleton is rage quitting in protest. And it's not just strength. Your face literally puffs up. Without gravity, your fluids shift upward, so astronauts get moon face, like waking up every day with an invisible allergy to being alive. Your spine also stretches. Most astronauts grow up to 2 inches taller in space. Sounds cool? It's not. It hurts. Your back's like, excuse me, we weren't designed for this yoga pose. And then there's your sense of balance. The inner ear, your built-in gyroscope, freaks out in 0G. Some astronauts vomit. Some just float in shameful nausea while their inner ear argues with their eyes about whether they're upside down or just existentially unmoored. Basically, being in space turns you into a slow-cooked meat balloon held together by hope and Velcro. So, imagine this. You're inside a billion-dollar space station, floating peacefully, when suddenly, you smell something burning. That's fine. Everything's fine. Probably just your last ounce of sanity evaporating. This phenomenon is real, and it's been reported by astronauts over the years, a lingering, distinct odor described as seared steak, welding fumes, or burnt metal, which, for the record, are not smells you want in a spaceship orbiting the Earth at 17.000 miles per hour. Now here's the twist. These smells usually appear after a spacewalk. The theory is that atomic oxygen in low Earth orbit reacts with the suit materials. And when astronauts come back inside and take their helmets off, that smell tags along for the ride. Great, so not only does space smell like flaming death, but it waits to show up after you've just done the most dangerous activity of your career. Let's also remember, in space, if something actually burns, that's game over. There's no fire department, no escape. The oxygen inside your craft could turn one spark into a flaming blender of doom. So when you think you smell something burning, you don't just wonder what it is. You start wondering how many seconds you've got left. Basically, space smells like hell's air freshener and forces you to play a daily game of panic or paranoia. You don't know how much you need grass, wind, and the smell of fresh bread until you're sealed in a floating aluminum can with 0% chance of stepping outside without dying instantly. Astronauts experience something called Earth out of view phenomenon. When the Earth isn't visible from their window, They report higher anxiety, disorientation, and even depression. Because as much as we fantasize about escaping the world, apparently, we fall apart without being able to see it. Some astronauts say the longing for Earth becomes physical, like homesickness. But multiplied by, you can't come back for 6 months and your bathroom is a suction tube. You miss stuff you never thought you'd care about: trees, cold air, pizza that doesn't come in a toothpaste tube. Even smells, yes, the good ones, become emotional. One astronaut reportedly got choked up just thinking about the scent of wet grass. And then there's the psychological kick in the teeth. You see Earth, beautiful, glowing, fragile, but you can't touch it. You're like a ghost watching your own life through a window, sipping vacuum-sealed soup while pretending that floating upside down is normal now. So yeah, space isn't just physically punishing. It emotionally roasts you like a marshmallow of existential dread. In space, there's no sunrise, no sunset, no weekend, no, I'll sleep in tomorrow. Just a relentless schedule of orbiting the planet every 90 minutes while your circadian rhythm quietly implodes. The International Space Station experiences 16 sunrises and sunsets a day. That's right, every 45 minutes. Day turns into night, and then day again. Imagine trying to take a nap while someone flips the light switch on and off 16 times before lunch. To cope, astronauts follow a strict schedule controlled by mission control. Wake up, do science, eat a tortilla, because breadcrumbs are evil in 0G. Sleep, repeat. Your body has no natural cues, just fluorescent lighting and the comforting monotony of government-regulated insomnia. And don't even think about jet lag. This is orbit lag. Your body wants to operate on a 24-hour day, but space laughs in 90-minute loops. Astronauts often report difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, and knowing what night even is. Melatonin becomes your best friend, and so does denial. Some astronauts adapt by hacking their sleep cycles. Others just don't. 1 minute you're brushing your teeth with space goo. The next you're crying at the window because you forgot what Tuesday means. So yeah, in space, time is fake, clocks are lies, and your body is basically running on a mixtape of chaos and vitamin D supplements. Let's talk about your new least favorite concept: space debris. Tiny, invisible flecks of death traveling at hypersonic speeds. We're not even talking cool, chunky asteroid-style death. These are flakes of paint, shards of metal, a literal screw, but they're moving at 25,000 km per hour, fast enough to turn your billion-dollar orbital Airbnb into Swiss cheese. The ISS is protected. To a degree, it has shielding, maneuvering protocols, and a long list of what to do if you hear a hissing sound procedures. But it's still a sitting target in Earth's orbiting junkyard. One wrong trajectory and suddenly you're recreating gravity. Minus the CGI budget. NASA tracks thousands of these space bullets. But it's the untracked ones that are the real nightmare. The stuff too small to spot, but big enough to punch a hole through your living room wall. Imagine brushing your teeth and suddenly, ping, a speck of titanium just scraped past your module. Congratulations, you've just survived your daily reminder that the universe is playing a constant game of dodgeball. And you're the target. Basically, space is the only place where a dead satellite from 1984 might ruin your Tuesday morning. Let's say you're feeling overwhelmed in space. Maybe it's the isolation. Maybe it's the whole being hurled around the planet at 17,000 miles per hour in a metal capsule thing. Naturally, you want to cry. Well, tough luck. Tears don't fall in space. Without gravity, your tears don't roll down your cheeks. They just pool in your eyes, creating little floating blobs of sadness. And they don't stop, they just cling to your eyeballs like emotional jelly. Some astronauts say it stings. Others describe the sensation as being pepper sprayed by your own feelings. You can't even wipe them away properly. Use a towel? You risk pushing the tear glob deeper into your eye. Let them float? They might drift around and stick to your face. Or worse, into your nose. Want to feel truly uncomfortable? Try snorting your own tears like they're orbiting particles of grief. Now throw in the fact that sinuses don't drain properly in space either. Your head is basically a congested pressure chamber of emotions. That lump in your throat feeling? More like a cloud in your skull. So yeah, If you have a breakdown in orbit, it won't just be emotional. It'll be a slow-motion bubble parade of ocular betrayal. Turns out, your brain doesn't take kindly to being in space, especially when it's asleep. Astronauts have reported that dreams in microgravity are often more vivid, surreal, and sometimes even terrifying. Think floating through memories, people appearing upside down, dreams of falling, even though you're already floating. It's like your brain is trying to recalibrate to a physics engine it no longer understands. Some astronauts describe dreams of being back on Earth, only to wake up in a panic, disoriented, upside down, and wondering where the floor went. Others dream of suffocating or drowning, which is great, because nothing helps morale quite like sleep anxiety in a place with limited oxygen. The best part? Lucid dreaming seems to spike in space. Your brain becomes hyper-aware of how unnatural everything is, so it starts playing games. Dreams about dreaming, dreams where you're fixing the ship, only to wake up and realize you still have to fix the ship. Basically, sleep in space is less rest and recharge, and more enter the dream blender and hope you don't wake up screaming into your floating pillow. Let's take a moment to appreciate just how weird humans are when you leave them alone for too long in a glorified sardine can hurtling through the void. Space isolation isn't like working from home or avoiding small talk at a party. It's months of living in extreme confinement with the same 3 to 6 people, sharing air, meals, and bathroom tubes. There's no going for a walk. There's no I need space. This is space, and you're stuck in it. Psychologists study this using analog missions, simulations in deserts, Antarctica, or under the ocean, and they've found that humans go a little off. Mood swings, loss of empathy, weird fixations. Some become hyperactive, others go quiet. One person on a simulated Mars mission reportedly stopped talking entirely and just stared at the wall for hours. NASA even has a term, astrofatigue. It's the gradual erosion of motivation, attention, and social grace. You might be a top-tier scientist, but after 80 days of recycled air and rehydrated chili, you're basically one passive-aggressive comment away from becoming a space gremlin. And don't forget, if someone does get on your nerves, you can't leave. You can't even yell. Sound doesn't travel well in a pressurized helmet. Best case scenario? Silent rage in orbit. Worst case? Passive-aggressive post-it notes in zero gravity. Space isn't just a test of science. It's a psychological pressure cooker where you either adapt, go a little weird, or become best friends with the wall. Here's the thing they don't show in the space documentaries. Coming back to Earth kind of sucks. After weeks or months in microgravity, your body forgets what down means. The moment you're back in gravity, everything hurts. Your legs feel like cinder blocks. Your blood pressure tanks. Your balance is gone. Some astronauts faint, others vomit, sometimes both. But it's not just physical. Readjusting to Earth emotionally can be jarring. The noise, the weight, the overwhelming visual clutter of life down here. Some astronauts report feeling depressed or disconnected. Others miss the routine, the view, or the clarity of purpose they had in space. Oh, and your vestibular system, the one responsible for balance, might take weeks to fully recalibrate. That means stairs become mortal enemies. Showers feel like tactical missions. And you walk like a malfunctioning marionette on a caffeine crash. You went to space a hero. You came back a wobbly bag of bones with motion sickness and a craving for real pizza. Basically, space doesn't just mess you up while you're there. It leaves you with a weird, floaty hangover you'll never quite shake. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy weird, slightly horrifying facts delivered with a smile. See you next time.